Today I want to discuss the issue of young women having babies out of wedlock with men that are not worthy to be the father of anything. I call these guys nothing ass men. Why? Because they're nothing. They are not of any use to themselves, which means they can't be of any use to you, and they can't be of any use to a child that they have. So ladies, I have to ask you, when you're dealing with these guys, you know they don't have a job, you know they don't have any education. Most of them don't have a car, they don't have any money, they don't have really anything to offer but some sex. And I'm not telling you not to sleep with them. That's your business. What I am going to suggest is you rethink any emotional connection that you think you're going to have with them, which means you don't fall in love. And the top thing is you don't have a baby by them, with them, for them, whatever phrase you want to use. No baby should ever be involved in that situation. Now, I'm going to say some pretty harsh things to you young ladies, but this is a reality check. I know this is the common and this is popular right now. You see a lot of these little girls, they'll be pregnant, they'll get pregnant together. They plan it. Oh yeah, we're going to have a baby. Okay, that is stupid. The bottom line is you aren't even prepared for the responsibility of parenting. I'm going to discuss a little bit of those things with you. And how you having a baby by some knucklehead, nothing-ass man is going to affect you down the road. The number one thing you need to consider is you're going to be stuck with that baby. He is going to go on off and do whatever it was he was doing before he got, start messing around with you, get with the next broad, have another baby with her, or, slow his roll and actually get married and have his real family. But the bottom line is you and that baby that you had with him are left behind. What sense does that make? I know a lot of you are saying, well, that's my baby, that's this and that. But that's a situation you didn't have to involve yourself in, and you definitely didn't have to involve a child. A lot of you have babies with guys that are violent and abusive, or they're drug addicted, or they're in and out of jail all the time. You're putting not only your physical self at risk, your emotional self, you're putting your physical self at risk because of the fact that a lot of guys, when they're going in and out of jail, things are happening in jail. They're coming out HIV positive or with hepatitis. So then here you are jumping back into bed with them. You're setting yourself up for drama there too. The second thing you must consider is the financial impact of trying to raise a child on your own. Now, many of you young girls is like, well, we have these programs, we can get the help assistance with daycare, we can get this and that. Wake up. Are you not looking at the newspaper and on television? Those programs are being cut right and left, cut off right at the knees. There's no guarantee that those will be there even next week, not to mention 4 or 5 years from now, while you're still depending on this to get yourself through whatever you're trying to get through. You need to stay in school and make sure, even if you do get pregnant, you don't have anybody's baby. That's why they have legalized abortions in this country. Avail yourself of them. Better yet, use birth control. That's what you should do. The third thing we need to discuss is that since you guys are young, you're young. You're going to want to be involving yourself with some men as you go along. Through life. You don't intend to, of course, be single the rest of your life. But I'm telling you, with every kid that you have, by some miscellaneous stray, Ray Ray or Pookie, the chances increase that that's exactly what's going to happen. Why? Because brothers ain't trying to come in, well, nearly no man is trying to come in and take care of some other guy's responsibilities. Why would a man come in and try to get in with a woman who's got 2, 3, 4 kids by 2, 3, 4 men when he can get a woman who has no children and have his own children with her? Why would he do that to himself? He's not trying to deal with that baby daddy drama. So you guys have a very unrealistic idea of what it is men are looking for. If you really want to have a man that has value, that is going to really be the right kind of guy, you have to look for the right kind of guy. And that is who you align yourself with, and that is who you have children with. You don't have children by every fool that comes down the road. I don't understand what you guys are doing or what your thinking is about this issue. Men don't want to have a woman that's got kids by some other dude. Now, it may happen, but you need to understand what went on there. He settled. He accepted you, but he didn't really want that situation. No man goes out looking for a woman with kids to get with unless he's a pedophile. So, you need to keep that in mind too, but that's another video. But right now I'm going to stick to this issue of the young girls having all these babies. So when you look at that, there are a lot of statistics that I've included. They'll be being shown as I'm speaking about the very real issues that come up when we're dealing with out of wedlock children and single parent homes. Not only are the majority of single parent families living in poverty. Okay, so that means you barely making it. Your ends is not really meeting too well. You're struggling. You're borrowing money. You're eating a lot of ramen and pasta, skipping meals so the kids can eat. That's poverty. And if you didn't have those children, just think how different your life would be. I love kids. Don't get me wrong. But I'm saying that there's a time and a place for them. And when you are a young woman that has not yet established yourself educationally, socially, mentally, or economically, you have no business having a child. I don't care how much you might love that man. You stand strong and say, nope, not doing it, not having no babies, not till I'm married, and not till I finish school, not till I finish doing what I want to do for myself. And there's no harm in that. There's no need for you to feel like that's being selfish. That is what you should do. You have to have a certain standard for yourself as well as for the men that come into your life. If you don't have standards, you will accept anything and just align yourself with it and call it your man. You really should have a higher value for yourself and your body than that. Your reproductive system, the part of your body that can bring forth life, is extremely precious. It can be damaged by different STDs, so that you might not even be able to have children. So you need to be very careful about how you handle it, who you let have access to it, and what you do with it. Protect it. Protect your womb, and protect your heart, because these guys, they're cheaters, they're liars, they're game players. They don't really mean you any good. They're basically there for sex. And like I said, that's fine if you can handle it. You're a grown woman. I'm not going to tell you what to do there. But what I am strongly suggesting is that you guys curtail this romantic vision that you have, that having a baby is going to be someone that's going to love you and be there for you, and that you'll finally have this family that you've longed for, and that this man who has no intention of marrying you is going to be a part of that fantasy. He's not. If he were going to be, he would have done things the right way, proposed to you first, then had sex, then you got married, then had sex, then had the baby. So you guys really need to rethink how you're doing things and how you're handling this whole baby mama thing. It's not cute. You're shooting yourself in the foot. You're limiting your options and opportunities for your whole life by starting off in a way that's shackling your feet. You'll never be able to fly way down with the weight of 2 or 3 kids. Okay? My name is Deborah Cooper. I'm the advice columnist on survivingdating.com and askheartbeat.com. I welcome your comments.